Okay, y'all. So I just went over the prediction I made on the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight that I uploaded on Productive Conversations podcast with my friend Matt Brown. I uploaded a prediction that, I was wrong in, as most of the world was. And I also just uploaded a video about, why I was wrong in that prediction and why I believe Devin Haney doesn't deserve a rematch. So I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to go over little things about that. What I want to talk to you about is the bigger picture in all of this. And as we all saw, Ryan Garcia was able to defeat the unified title holder at 140 in Devin Haney and put him away in almost a masterclass, something that Devin Haney just had no answer for. It was just throwing jabs to the body and clinching and doing nothing when he got to the center of the ring, and no answer for Ryan Garcia's offense and hook and the speed. And, I already talked about that. So go on Productive Conversations podcast on the YouTube channel to go check that video out. I'm promising you it's quality. The bigger picture in all of this is that, Ryan Garcia comes in and does most of the promotion, right? Comes in at 143, obviously didn't train that well, because if he was able to make 136 against Tank, then clearly he just came in overweight this time on purpose and didn't train that hard. He was going crazy on social media, disrespecting the belt organizations by coming in overweight and just, just acting rowdy at the press conferences and acting like the belts didn't matter. That's where we've gotten to now. We have gotten to the point, and this is the bigger picture, we've gotten to the point where the belts in boxing do not matter. Now, do the belts still matter in the UFC? Yes, they do matter in the UFC, because there's one belt for each weight class in the UFC. And it's the same promotion, actually doing real things for the fighters, right? And, putting them around social media personalities, getting them on networks, on a lot of networks, and, ESPN and stuff like that. And, the UFC is a single machine that's, partnered up with WWE. They've been partnered up with Reebok before. They're partnered up with Venom right now. Proper 12, right? Bud Light, all type of things. Could pay them a little more, but there's one belt for each weight class. It's easy to follow. There's almost no corruption, even though there's some sketchy things that happen. In boxing, it's become just a wild mess, man. Like, it's way different than what it was when Mike Tyson was fighting and, Ali was fighting and those guys back in the day. We're in the 4-belt era, and the 4-belt era has completely ruined the sport. These organizations, they want to be the premier organizations. They want their belt to mean everything. The 4-belt era thing confuses the fans. The WBO, WBC, IBO, IBF, all those, it's just stupid stuff, man. Why isn't there just one belt? Why can't you guys just merge together and give credence to one belt for each weight class, so that your business is better off because of the fans will follow easier, and we don't have multiple champions in one weight class? What is that? That's just dumb. It's just dumb. And you got the intercontinental titles and the interim titles. They're just garbage. That's one way that the 4-belt era has ruined the sport today. But another reason that the 4-belt era has ruined the sport is because these organizations want to be the premier organizations. They want to be the best ones. They want their belt to be the most respected. So they'll protect their cash cows that hold their belts. They'll have their cash cows fight bums. They'll have their cash cows, just do whatever. And yes, that's on the promoters. Yes, the fighters had their promoters that are basically doing the most of that. But the belt organizations, if they had if they had just conjoined together and made into one, you couldn't really do that. You couldn't really protect the cash cow, because there would be one belt that everyone's clamoring for. There wouldn't be 4 belts that people could just dance around one belt to get another. And, no, you'd be forced to fight the title holder. And they don't want to do that, but, it's just they're greedy. They're greedy. And, they protect the cash cows, which ruins the sport. We're at the point now that people just want to see fights. They just want to see fights. They want to see the best fight the best. We get that in the UFC. We don't get that in boxing anymore. And that's why it's a good thing that Ryan Garcia came in overweight, was doing all type of stuff on social media, and, didn't train that hard, came in drop the unified title holder at least 5 times, but only one knockdown was counted, that ref needs to be checked and investigated. The judge also needs to be investigated. I gave it a 112 and 112. Yeah, it's just, we've gotten to the point where the sport is corrupt. The organizations are greedy, and the belts are hard to follow. It's hard to follow. So let me say that in order. Number one, it's hard to follow, with 4 belts going around in each weight class. Number two, the organizations have become too greedy and are not putting on the best fights. And three, we just want to see fights now, and we don't care about, cash cows being protected. We don't care about the belts. And Ryan Garcia coming in overweight, undertrained, and coming in and doing that to the unified title holder. He took a big steaming dump on all of the belt organizations, and I love it. He took a big steaming dump on the promoters that protect their cash cows, you know, and then, when the real scrap happens, that's what happens to your cash cow. That's what happens to your unified title holder. So, that's the bigger picture here, is that, Ryan Garcia completely undermined all the belt organizations, and this could potentially be life-saving for boxing because, we'll have fans coming in and they'll be able to see the best fights now. Fans already on social media show you, like, literally who's talking about the belts now. Devin Haney still has all the belts, but you go on social media, nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. They only care about the performance, and they only care about what happened that night. We're getting into a better space, I think, in boxing with this happening. And, we got to just take it for what it is. These organizations have ruined the sport, and they've brought it to this point. And the belts should mean something. They should, but there should only be one belt. There shouldn't be 4 belts. That waters down everything. You know, Even Floyd Mayweather, was relinquishing his belts by the end of his career because he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fee. If I'm a GOAT, how am I paying to hold the belt? That's crazy. You know. And, he also told Ryan Garcia to do the same thing. So yeah, I just hope this becomes a trend. I hope people start not caring about the belts anymore, and I hope people just put on these fights so that we could see them as fans, and so that everybody can make their money, and so that the sport could be in a better place. And yeah, F the belts, F the belts. That's a chant that I want to start hearing at the events now. F the belts, F the belts. We want to see fights. That's it. So that's my take on it. You can debate it. You can comment in the comment section, like, share, subscribe, anything you want to do. I'm here. I'd like to talk with y'all and debate about it, and let's have a good conversation. This is Dolo Ren, content creator, producer, whatever you want to say. So yeah, it's your man Dolo Ren. I'm gonna catch y'all next time, man. Peace.